Hey and welcome to today's video. My name is Julian. On my channel, it's all about making you crypto fit. That means we discuss stuff like decentralization, blockchain, cryptocurrencies, and many altcoins. And today it's exactly about this topic. We discuss a question that I think I receive on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, around 10 times a day minimum. And that is, Julian, please, my coin, XYZ, ABC, DEF, whatever. Is this coin awesome? Is this a shit coin? Should I sell it? Should I hold it? What should I do with it? And so today I want to give you a matrix that you can just follow in thinking about if your coin is a shit coin and you should be selling it, or if your coin is actually really awesome and you should keep hodling or maybe buying more. Before we go in, I want to say a big thank you to our sponsor, eToro. eToro is really fantastic if you want to get into crypto and you don't want to deal with the traditional kind of exchanges. You want to have a bit more of an easier way in. eToro is really easy there. They offer a lot of portfolios. They offer very, very nice ways in all of this. I'll post down the link below where you get some specials and you know how to use this. They have, like, for example, the social media trading portfolio where they follow all kinds of social media trends for their coins. So it might be very interesting to check them out. Now, obviously, it doesn't replace traditional exchanges, for example, Coinbase or something, but it might be very interesting for you, especially if you're starting out. So with this out of the way, let's go into the video and let's discuss a couple of things. I have prepared a PowerPoint that I would love to share with you. And it's basically a bit of the matrix that I want to discuss here. So is XYZ a shitcoin? Well, let's first distinguish shitcoins from scam coins. Scam coins, and I kind of want to really clear them, is pretty much two things. The first one, scam coins are coins that make very clear promises. And they make promises in either fiat terms, so that you get 10, 20, 30, 40%, or maybe 100% per year, or mostly they calculate in days, so you get like 0.5% a day. So whenever you see this, that there's clear promises on a daily basis, you should be very, very wary. Very first thing. And the second thing is if there's an aggressive focus on a referral scheme and not on the actual coin use case. So referral schemes per se, not a big problem. Many companies use them. That's all fine. But if the focus is really on referring and not so much on actually the use case of the coin, I would be extra careful. Now, obviously, there's a lot of nuances to this and there are some exceptions, and I understand that, but these are the two kind of things. And if you look at OneCoin, BitConnect, BitClub Network, and so on, all these coins, the reason they are a scam is exactly because of those things. So that should be very, very clear. Now, many times in the blockchain space, it's difficult to say, hey, if you don't know the founders, well, in Bitcoin, we don't know who Satoshi is. So in many times, actually not knowing the founder is not a good thing. In many kind of cryptocurrencies, Monero, for example, Bitcoin, and I think they're very legit coins, you don't know the founder, so it might be difficult to just generalize that. But I think those two things really mark a scam. If you have just one of those, I think it's enough to think that you have a scam. Now, key, especially in staking coins, some staking coins inflate basically by 50% per year. They call this a staking return. Now here, they're not making any promises in fiat terms. You're just getting more of the same coin. But if they would promise you returns in Bitcoin or returns in euros or dollars, very, very careful. So let's go to the next one and let's discuss what are things that, in my personal opinion, make a coin a shitcoin. And so here's the key thing. This is not a black or white. This is very gray. And here's the thing. I'm going to give you 5 points. And the more of these you check, the more likely it is that it's a shitcoin. And then also when we talk about what probably doesn't make it a shitcoin, which is the 5 things we're going to discuss later, it's going to be less likely. So these are just the things that you have to pay attention to. And then at the end, you kind of, we're going to make a bit of a conclusion and kind of give you a matrix on should you buy, hodl, or sell. So one of the key things is if a coin focuses on partnerships. Now that doesn't mean that partnerships make a coin a shitcoin. Not at all. But if this is all they're representing, and I hear this with so many coins, there's clearly none of the other good things that we're going to be discussing, but partnerships, but this partnership, but this. So what? Most partnerships, and trust me, because I advise so many of these companies, they have no clue about blockchain, nothing. Most of the time, it's a pay to play. So these coins pay these companies to have a partnership. most of the time, these companies actually have a really nice standing because they deal with decentralized ledger technology. But at the end, there's nothing behind it than smoke. So having partnerships, good thing. Focusing on partnership, like meaning this is all there is, bad thing. Next thing, press. Press many times is a lot of pay to play. Yes, there's some legit press, and good press is important, don't get me wrong. But if this is all you have, if this is all they can show, if you talk to people and you ask them about the other things, you ask them about use case, you talk about users, and they got nothing but good press. And you hear this so often when you talk on Reddit, when you're on Twitter, when you're in Telegram groups. When this is the focus and not all the other things, I would be very wary on if this is actually a shitcoin or actually a legit coin. Next one, events. If the coin, all it does is it has representatives or it has people that only speak at events. Most events are pay to play. So that means you can just buy yourself in there. That doesn't mean that you're a good coin, nothing. But if the coin says, hey, we spoke there, so that's why we're legit. Hey, we have this partnership, that's why we're legit. Hey, we were featured in Forbes, that's why we're legit. If they really focus on this, this means squid, squat, nada. And if the focus is actually on this, I would be really, really, really careful, just as a whole. Again, many events, pay to play, has nothing to do with legitimizing anything. Trust me, I understand these parts very well. Partnerships, press events, this is key. Media. So if you focus not so much on news outlets, but with media, I'm talking in general, kind of talking media, kind of having some media exposure. If this is what's really, really key, most of the time, this doesn't make a coin legit. It's just, well, why do you focus on this? Very, very, very important when it comes to all of that. And then the last one is, and this is really a key one, if you have influencers really aggressively pushing one coin, if it's really aggressive, if it becomes fanboy kind of style, I would be very, very, very careful when it comes to this. Also, when there's a very strong bot use. I see this with a couple of coins under my videos. It's unbelievable. I could just make a video. I tell you already, the same 5 coins, they all use bots. And these bots spam my videos. And we filter all of them. But I know exactly these 5 coins are definitely more on the shittier side than more on the legit side. Just because, why do you focus on this? There's no need if you have a legit coin. So what would be the things that would make it a good coin, in my opinion? Now, obviously, all of this is very personal, and I think these are just subjective opinions. But the very first one is, if you can clearly explain or define the problem that this coin is solving, not what this coin is doing, the actual problem. And I don't want to hear, oh, I can't explain this to you. I need a core developer to explain this to me. Why do I need a core developer? Just explain it to me. What's the problem that this coin tries to solve? And not, what is it trying to do? I want to understand the problem because I want to understand, is this coin actually solving something? Is it actually helping, or is it just there? If it's just there, it's going to get hype because of the other reasons that we just discussed before. And this is what hype can always create. But if this thing actually solves a problem, it actually does something, man, this is going to be really good. And this leads us to the second one. If you've actually used the coin, so you're actually using it on a regular basis, or you've used it whenever it's appropriate, man, this really helps. But just hodling means nothing. So that's a really, really key thing. It's really about using it. And there's so few coins, maybe there's a handful or 2 handful, where people actually use the coin. And in all the other cases, they don't. And that's why most of these coins are actually shit coins. And there's very, very, very few coins that are really legitimate. And I think, yeah, you probably have like 1 or 2 handful of coins that are, in my opinion, legit, and the others are shit coins. Now, here's the other thing. You want those numbers to go up, especially user numbers. Now here, you don't want the hodler numbers go up because these are just speculators, right? You want people who actually use the coin, and you want those numbers to go up. Now, to me, very impressive, just recently, Brave BAT numbers been going through the roof. Now, this is really, really legit. Bitcoin, you see the actual user numbers going up. Active addresses, you see them going up. These are really, really good signs that a coin is solid. And everything else, well, it's very questionable. Now, all these coins should have a GitHub repo, all of them. There's no reason for these coins not to have a GitHub. And so then you look, okay, who is developing on these things? Who's working on the project? Do you have access? Can you see that there's any kind of progress? Now, this is a really, really, really good sign. It doesn't mean just because you don't see anything that this means nothing, but if there's clear progress, if they have, I don't know, PRs all the time, man, this is really, really positive. This is really, really solid, and this is something you want to pay attention to. Now, again, there are some projects who just have some weird tech activity, but at the end, there's nothing behind. But all of these things together, right? So the more of these you can check, well, the better in whole. And then, I mean, that's the gold standard, right? The gold standard is if you can actually calculate a value for the coin. And not the price is clear, but you can actually calculate the value. Because if you can calculate the value, it gets super, super simple. If that thing solves a clear problem, you've actually maybe used it, or you know people who use it on a regular basis. These user numbers go up. There's clear tech progress. And you can actually calculate the value. Holy crap, then it gets very easy to answer the question, should you buy, should you hodl, should you sell? Well, why? Well, it's very simple. Don't ask other people, first of all. Why? Because they have no skin in the game with your money. It's your money. So don't ask me, don't ask influencers, don't ask other people about whether you should buy or sell. It's irrelevant. My opinion doesn't matter. It's not your money. It's not my money. So don't listen to me. It's irrelevant. I put my money into things that I put my money into. And you should do the same. I'm very open in where I put my money. So don't ask me if you should buy XRP or not. You can ask me, do you own XRP? Then I'm going to tell you. You can ask me, do you own Bitcoin? Do you own Ethereum? You can ask me. The more important thing that I would ask people is the why. Why are they holding it? What's the reasoning? What's the background info behind it? What are the possibilities? And then you can see, is there actually data? Are there facts around it? Or are they just, because it's such an amazing coin? Shit. Sell. This is the worst thing. You want to have some very clear data. You want to see things where you're like, man, this makes so much sense. Really, really, really key in your decision matrix. Now, here's another thing. Don't fall for this fallacy that just because you have been holding the coin going down, that you now need holding the coin while it's going up. And we discussed this in the last video. Check out my last video if this is something new to you. Only buy or hodl if, let's say you would start from scratch right now. You would actually put money in. Fresh capital from starting from scratch. If you wouldn't put fresh money into your coin, but you're just actually holding it because, man, now it went down so much already. It's so low. I'm just gonna hold it. That's the worst idea. That's the stupidest decision. That's focus on price. So don't do that. You don't want to do this. Low prices does not mean it's cheap. That's key. Low prices means squat. It just means that people don't want to pay much for it. Why? That's a different story. But this is the key thing. Only buy or hodl, and this is not a key thing, if price is lower than value. And for this, you need to know the value. Here, I would sell, I would not hold. If either the price is above the value, and in most shitcoins it is, because most shitcoins value is 0, because there's just no value in it, or if I can calculate the value, I would also rather sell, because Warren Buffett, very important investment principle, understand what you are investing into. And if you have those things, you should be really, really solid. And I understand that the grayish, the kind of area, the layout, whether something is a shitcoin or not, that's not black or white. But that should give you a very, very good understanding. And I think this should give you a really nice decision matrix in all of this. So with this, I hope that gives you some insights. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know in the comments down below. I'll go through them. I'll answer them either directly or in one of the future videos. Again, check out eToro, also down in the link below. And let me know if that helps you. If it does, give me a thumbs up, share this video, retweet, like, and I'll see you at the next video. Thank you so much. Yours truly, Julian.